welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And we're back with part 2, day 2 of our look at beach volleyball, summer's sandy sport. So we learned that this sport actually goes back a lot longer, a lot earlier. It started a lot earlier than I knew, 1915. I thought it was invented like in the 1980s, but that was probably when it first appeared on TV. So that's the first time I'd ever heard of it. But you played volleyball, traditional gym volleyball, when you were in high school. Now the differences between those, we already know traditional volleyball, 6 people on each team. Beach volleyball, 2 people on each team. Are the rules basically the same?
There's a lot of, the rules are basically the same except for things like the court is shorter.
Sure, because you don't have so many people.
Only 2 people.
Makes sense.
And also you play to less points.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's fewer points in an indoor sport, you play to 25.
25?
Yes, and in
outdoor
you play to 21.
21. So the games are a little shorter because the athletes will get tired, obviously.
Yes. And generally, more higher level competitive indoor volleyball, you play 3 out of 5 matches to see who wins, and outdoor you tend to just stick with the regular 2 out of 3.
Oh, okay. But that's pretty similar.
Yeah,
just
but
a
a lot
little
of,
bit.
mostly the same.
And when you're actually playing it, I remember in volleyball, if I hit the ball to the other team, they can touch it 3 times, right?
Yep.
So someone will bump it, someone will set it, and then someone will smack it over the net. Is that the same in beach volleyball?
Yes, but technically you can get away with 4 hits because a block, you can try to jump up and block it.
I see.
And if it bounces off their hand, that doesn't really count as a hit.
That doesn't really count, okay.
Yes.
But in beach volleyball, that means each player will touch the ball like once or twice each time the ball goes over the net.
Yes, so like the person passing, as soon as you pass, usually the setter is over trying to block. And as soon as they try to block, and when they're done, they'll turn back around and get ready to set, and the person who's digging, as soon as they pass the ball, they have to get ready to hit.
Right.
And then as soon as you get it over the net, you have to run back and get ready to do it all again.
Geez, so as a cardio, as a sport where you're like breathing hard and running a lot, this sounds a lot harder than traditional volleyball.
It's really hard, and also jumping and running in sand is really tough.
And getting sweaty and then getting sand on your skin. Oh, all sorts of problems there. So a lot of respect for those beach volleyball players. It might look like a cool, fun sport on the beach, but it's really hard, as we're going to find out probably more in part 2. While beach volleyball looks similar to its indoor cousin, there are a few important differences. First, a beach volleyball court is smaller, 2 meters shorter and 1 meter narrower, which means more fast-paced action. Second, there are just 2 players per team in beach volleyball, compared to 6 in indoor volleyball. This means beach volleyball players need to cover more ground. Finally, the scoring system is slightly different. In beach volleyball, the first team to 21 points wins the set, instead of 25 in indoor volleyball. Plus, you only need to win 2 sets to win the game instead of 3. All right, beach volleyball, summer sandy sport. Let's dive into the article and save that ball from hitting the ground. While beach volleyball looks similar to its indoor cousin, there are a few important differences. First, a beach volleyball court is smaller, as you told us, 2 meters shorter and 1 meter narrower. Wow, that's quite a bit, because a meter is quite a lot. So 2 meters shorter, that means it's not as long from end to end, and also not as wide, 1 meter narrower. So less space for the players to cover, because remember, there's only 2, which means more fast-paced action.
Second, there are just 2 players per team in beach volleyball, compared to 6 in indoor volleyball. So again, very fast, lots of moving, lots of running. This means beach volleyball players need to cover more ground. And finally, the scoring system is slightly different. So again, lots of people tend to like to watch beach volleyball for example, in the Olympics over indoor sports because it's just a lot faster and everything's happening a lot it's just more fun.
Okay.
Yes, and so then we have this word slightly, so saying that the scoring is slightly different, and this is an adverb to show degree, and so we're saying that this degree is just a little bit one way or the other, so you could have slightly, maybe it's slightly too hot in the room, or it's slightly too cold, so again, it's used to show some amount of degree, but only a tiny bit. So for example, we have the soup needs to be cooked slightly longer to bring out its flavors. So it's not quite cooked enough, just needs a little bit more.
There you go. And that term a little bit and slightly can be used almost exactly the same way in any sentence. Back to the article. In beach volleyball, the first team to 21 points wins the set. Okay, so the first team to reach 21 points wins that part of the game, and then they'll play a few of those little mini games to make up a full game. And this is instead of 25 in indoor volleyball. So again, fewer players, they don't have to work quite as hard to reach the end of the game. That makes sense. Plus, you only need to win 2 sets to win the game instead of 3. So you would play 3 games. The first team to win 2 of those games, or more of them, will win the whole thing, whereas in indoor volleyball, you'll play up to 5 games, but the first team to reach 3 wins, they win the whole thing. Gotcha.
Yes.
All right, that's all we have for that. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back with more.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天要继续来介绍沙滩排球。课文一开始提到沙滩排球与这个室内排球的几个重要差异。首先呢，沙滩排球的球场是比较小的，它短了2公尺，窄了1公尺。那这意味着比赛节奏会更快。另一项差异是队伍的规模。沙滩排球每队只有2名球员，那相较之下，室内排球是有6名球员。因此呢，沙滩排球球员他们要防守的范围就更大咯。最后是计分系统稍微有所不同，在沙滩排球当中，先获得21分的队伍就会赢得该局比赛，那室内排球则是25分。好，单字 slightly 就表示稍微、略微怎么样，那它是副词。这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。这边我们来学习 compared to 或是 compared with 加上名词，这表示相较于什么。和什么相比之下，那这是分词片语，后面可以接名词或名词子句，那它可以摆在句首或者是句尾。例如 compared to her classmates, she's fairly short. 与同学们相比，她的个子比较矮。好，接话课文中。
This summer, the world's top beach volleyball players will battle for gold at the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics. The sport will be played in the Champ de Mars, a park right at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. Organizers plan to transform the park into a temporary outdoor arena, complete with space for fans and TV crews. Beach volleyball has come a long way since George David Center's original idea. And with the Olympics just around the corner, fans are eagerly awaiting the next chapter of this sports story.
Okay, welcome back. So now we are looking at the Summer Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So it says, this summer, the world's top beach volleyball players will battle for gold at the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics. So yes, this year the Summer Olympics are in Paris, and that is where all these beach volleyball players are going to go and compete. The sport will be played in the Champ de Mars, a park right at the foot of the Eiffel Tower.
Wow, so not really a beach. I mean, the Eiffel Tower is kind of near the river Seine, which goes through Paris, but this is not exactly Santa Monica or Hawaii or somewhere like that. But still, you're going to have the beach volleyball players and then the Eiffel Tower right behind them. That will probably be pretty cool. But yes, they'll have to bring in, I'd say, what's the word? A lot of sand I think that's the technical term, a huge amount, tons of sand. Organizers plan to transform the park into a temporary outdoor arena, complete with space for fans and TV crews, because of course they're going to have lots of seating there, probably for a few hundred or thousands of people. They'll have to have cameras there. They'll have to have places for the athletes to prepare. They're going to have to basically turn this park near the Eiffel Tower into a mini little sports center. When you change something from one thing into another thing, you transform that thing, okay? We could talk about someone being transformed by putting on different clothes. You know, the young boy suddenly put on a tuxedo and he transformed into James Bond or something like that. Or you could take your bicycle and you could decorate it with all sorts of stuff for a parade or some celebration, and transform your bicycle into a dinosaur or something, a dragon, by putting a little nose on the front and a tail on the back and wings on the side. It's like you're changing something by adding things to it, by converting it, by adjusting it, by building things onto it. Here's an example. Dad transformed the vegetables into a delicious meal. We had a bunch of turnip and rutabaga, and Dad turned it into a delicious meal. It was like magic.
Yeah, that's definitely
Suddenly
magic.
The turnip and the rutabaga was a hamburger and French fries. I don't know how he did it.
All right, and then we also had this word temporary, because they are going to be turning a park that's in front of the Eiffel Tower into this beach volleyball place, but obviously they can't keep it there forever, so it's only temporary, which means staying or lasting for a short amount of time. Once the sport is over, they're going to have to figure out how to get rid of all the sand and put it all back somewhere else and turn everything back into the park that is normally there. So this is only a temporary situation lasting a short time. She accepted a temporary job for the summer before starting college. She doesn't plan to stay there because in the fall she will go to college, so she'll have to stop working.
Yeah.
All right, and then back to our article, we see that it says, beach volleyball has come a long way since George David Center's original idea. And with the Olympics just around the corner, fans are eagerly awaiting the next chapter of this sports story.
I think they are. There's going to be a lot of fans eagerly awaiting to see it either live, if you're lucky enough to be in Paris, or to watch it on TV. If you're doing something eagerly or eagerly waiting for something, you are very excited. You almost can't wait for the time to pass. You're super enthusiastic. You're really into it. You might have been looking forward to this for a really long time, and it's almost here. You almost get to go to the Taylor Swift concert. I'm losing my mind. I'm so eagerly awaiting to see T Swift in concert. You know me.
Oh yeah.
Back to our sentence here. Luke eagerly opened the letter from his friend. So he hadn't spoken to his friend in a year. He got a letter in the mail. He's so excited he can't wait to open that letter.
Okay, and then we also had this word await, so they were eagerly awaiting this, and this is just looking forward to something or waiting for something to happen and seeing what is going to come in the future. And so they're awaiting what is going to happen with beach volleyball. And in our example sentence, the kids await their turn to go on the ride. So they are sitting there, they're looking forward to their turn. They have to wait for a little bit, but they're very excited about it. And then it'll be their turn to go on the ride.
Kind of like wait for.
Yes.
The kids are waiting for or await their turn on the ride. Here's our question to wrap things up. Have you ever played beach volleyball?
Yes, I played it a lot. I've played beach volleyball, and I've also played grass volleyball, which is pretty fun. But beach volleyball, super fun, great. I played it when I was, middle school, high school, college, after college.
And I will say, no, I haven't, but I would love to play beach volleyball, although I have to remember the rules and get a ball and find a beach and a net.
And some friends.
And some friends to play with. So I don't think I'll be doing it today. But next weekend, who knows? See you guys, take care of yourselves and each other, and bye-bye.
今 今年夏天，我们可以在2024年巴黎夏季奥运会上看到世界顶尖的沙滩排球运动员在争夺金牌。那这个赛事呢，会在战神广场举行，而这个公园就位于埃菲尔铁塔的底下。那主办单位计划要把公园改成一个临时的户外比赛场地。好，单字 transform 是动词，就表示改变、改造或是转换。Transform A into B 就表示把 A 改变成 B。那么 Mike 老师这时候用到 convert 这个动词 convert，convert 也可以表达转变、转换。好，那单字例句提到爸爸将那些蔬菜变成美味的一餐。老师这时候有提到2种蔬菜，一个是 turnip 就是无茎，还有 rutabaga 就是无茎甘蓝。好，下一个单字 temporary， 它是形容词，形容临时的、暂时的。那课文最后写到说，自从 George David Center 最初的构想以来，沙滩排球已经大有进展。那随着奥运即将到来，球迷们正热切地期待着这项运动故事的下一章。好，文中用到 eagerly 就表示热切地、渴望地或是急切地。那么 await 表示等待、等候，它是及物用法，就跟 wait for 意思一样。这边就有2个重点，我们要进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 come a long way。字面意思是走了很长的路，那就表示大有进展、大幅进步，可以用来表达说某人事物它经历大幅进展，或者是有显著的进步。那常常会用完成式表达，例如 Tom's guitar skills have come a long way since last year。Tom 的吉他演奏技巧从去年以来已经进步很多了。那第二个重点是 with 加上受词加受词补语，这样的句型是用来表示附带状况或是说明原因。那受词补语可以用分词、形容词或介系词片语。我们用分词当受词补语的时候，就看受词跟它补语的关系，主动用现在分词 VING， 被动用过去分词 PP。举例来说 ，She couldn't concentrate with the kids running around。孩子们跑来跑去，她没办法专注。With little money left, he turned to his parents for help. 由于身上的钱所剩无几，他向父母寻求协助。好，那以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
While beach volleyball looks similar to its indoor cousin, there are a few important differences. First, a beach volleyball court is smaller, 2 meters shorter and 1 meter narrower, which means more fast-paced action. Second, there are just 2 players per team in beach volleyball, compared to 6 in indoor volleyball. This means beach volleyball players need to cover more ground. Finally, the scoring system is slightly different. In beach volleyball, the first team to 21 points wins the set, instead of 25 in indoor volleyball. Plus, you only need to win 2 sets to win the game instead of 3. This summer, the world's top beach volleyball players will battle for gold at the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics. The sport will be played in the Champ de Mars, a park right at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. Organizers plan to transform the park into a temporary outdoor arena, complete with space for fans and TV crews. Beach volleyball has come a long way since George David Center's original idea. And with the Olympics just around the corner, fans are eagerly awaiting the next chapter of this sports story.
Here's how to play. The host will be holding 3 cards. Each card will have 2 sentences containing a secret vocabulary word or phrase that has been replaced by the word bear. The host will read the sentences out loud for the contestants to guess. Whoever guesses first gets a point. The person with the most points wins. And you can play along too.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen.
I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Matt.
We're gonna play Guess the Bear. All right, so let's get started. This is a noun. Number 1. Even though it wasn't cold, Jeff still wore a light bear.
Jacket.
And then number 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. My old bear has a broken zipper. Guess it.
Jacket.
Okay. I have to give that one to Matt because he waited for the second sentence. Okay. So it is jacket. So the first one was, even though it wasn't cold, Jeff still wore a light jacket. And number 2, my old jacket has a broken zipper. All right, so let's try to keep our thoughts to ourselves and wait for the second sentence. All right, so this is an adjective. Number 1, Amy didn't write bare pages for the essay. Number 2, Jake brought bare sandwiches to feed the whole class.
Enough.
All right, Carolyn got that one, okay? All right, it was enough. So Amy didn't write enough pages for the essay. And number 2, Jake brought enough sandwiches to feed the whole class. It's very generous of Jake. Okay, this is a phrase, 2 words, and also the tiebreaker. Man, the pressure is on. Okay, number 1, the DVD bears a small booklet about the movie. Number 2, the meal bears a drink and a side dish.
Comes with?
Okay, Matt got that one. It's comes with. So number 1, the DVD comes with a small booklet about the movie. And number 2, the meal comes with a drink and a side dish. All right, so Matt is the winner of this round, but you are the winner in my heart forever and always.
Sorry, Matt.